Hey everybody, welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole Reed and today we're here for DDs Flosstube episode 124, so let's get into it. Well, good morning or good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I do a little bit of prattling on about the stitching that I've done in the last 2 weeks. I didn't film last week because we had some stuff happen in the house with truck breakdowns, had to be on the phone, all that sort of stuff, making sure my husband didn't lose his, proverbial and all the rest of it. And then we also had a car breakdown on the same day. So needless to say, I didn't get a lot of stitching done. I also had my daughter here as well. And when I'm trying to stitch and count and everything, and she's chatting to me, it just doesn't work. So anyway, I got to the day that I was supposed to be filming. I only had one project that I had stitched on, and I thought that that was going to be a very, very, very brief video, so I didn't worry about it. All right, so I have been doing, because we've got Stitch With Me starting back up this month on the channel. So I had a little bit of a break in January after a very hectic December, and I was just a little bit worn out with Vlogmas and all that sort of stuff. It is a lot of work. So anyway, I have been still doing like reading and booktubing and all that sort of stuff, and I've been doing my slow stitching Saturdays, but Stitch With Me start back. We've been doing floss tubes throughout the month as well, but I have done a little bit of mapping. So I'm going to start with the first one that we're going to look at is Snow Village. And let that focus a bit. So this is what Snow Village is going to look like when it's done. Currently, I'm down here at, so we're on the last row. And we are down here at Snow Cone. So I've done a little bit of mapping out in preparation for the Stitch With Me this week. So I'll be filming that today. And this is what the actual little chart that I'm working on looks like. Let me just bring that up. You can see there. This is by Country Cottage Needleworks. I'm actually stitching this on 16 count. Oh, we've got stuff flying everywhere. Let me just, they're slippery little suckers. So I'll just put them over here so that I don't get lost. I'm working on 16 counts, Ada. This is called Lagoon, and it is hand dyed by me. As you can see, it's quite mottled. Let me just go where we were going. There we go. So you can see there, I've mapped it all out. I've got threads everywhere because obviously I'm still stitching this. So when it comes to the Stitch With Me, because I have made mistakes in the past with other ones, which I'm not overly concerned about. It's just, this here is up just a little bit higher. I'm not overly concerned. I didn't notice until I was over here. So I wasn't unpicking it. So anybody that's done Stitch With Me, you know that you often make mistakes and all that sort of stuff. So I've still got my threads all hanging in there because I've still got to come back and do it. I've got a couple more little bits and pieces to put in, but for the most part it's done. I've got a couple of little what do you call snowflakes and everything that I've got to put up in here. I think there's 3 more snowflakes off the top of, yeah, 3 more snowflakes that I've got to put in here, and then that is all the snowflakes mapped out. But when we do the Stitch With Me, we'll come and we'll do all this, but you can get a general idea of it. So this block will be finished, should be finished by next week, because when I do the Stitch With Me that night, I work on this and just finish off however many hours I get into it and whatnot. So now that this is all pretty much mapped out with and once it's stitched, we'll just have some back stitch to do, but I'm leaving the back stitch till last because I'm actually doing this in a hoop, and this has spokes on the wheel, so I don't want it to get damaged or anything, so I'm leaving that till last. And yeah, so it's looking really good. I'm really happy with it, how it's all coming out. We'll just flip it out so you can see the whole thing. So you can see there, it is coming together so nicely. It's going to look lovely as a cushion. And I can't wait until it's finished. Let me just move this plant out of the way and then we can come in a little bit. There we go. So yes, I've got thread everywhere. It's not very neat and tidy, but it's going to look absolutely wonderful. And once this is finished, I have also started Farmhouse Christmas. So when this one is finished this year, which it will be, basically I will replace this with Farmhouse Christmas, and then we'll be doing the same thing again. I'm going to be doing it into a cushion. And then when we finish Farmhouse Christmas, then we will go on to Glitter House Village, and then Jack Boss Tree Farm, or one of those two will end up being the replacement for the Stitch With Me. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. I might end up bringing something else in, but for the most part, I'll be just doing these cushions. You never know. I might end up changing it out for a Halloween piece or something like that for the Stitch With Me. But I'll put that to a vote when it comes time to it. And you can choose. Basically, I'll do that over on Instagram. You can choose which one I'm going to use for the Stitch With Me, which one you want to come on the journey with, because we know that this has been quite a bit of a journey. But anyway, that is a Snow Village. All done, ready to go for the Stitch With Me. Let me just pop that down there. All right, I also got some work into my Heaven and Earth. This one is my focus piece for this year. This is called Red Dragon. It is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I am stitching this on 28 count 2/1 10 stitch. I'm currently up in this section up here. I'm just around here. So we're almost finished the top row. It's a lot of block color. It's not going to be very exciting for you to see it. I think I've done about 500 stitches, and I didn't stitch on it last week, but I did stitch on it this week. So I got 500 in this week. So that is what it's going to look like when it's finished. Let me set that aside and bring this in. We have rain here, so it might pick up the sound of the rain. Hopefully it won't. I've got my microphone, and Zoom's pretty good because I'm filming this on Zoom. Zoom's pretty good for not that. So you can see here, this is on 28 count, and so I've been over here, and oh, there's that. It's just a bit of fluff. Oh, panicked then. Absolutely panicked. So I did this section here. So all in here is the same color. So what I've done is I've just stitched down the edge of where I was, and now I'm just filling in. So I'll get this section finished this week for sure. So this one it just stays in the hoop and it stays on the couch, and whenever I get a chance I put some in. And sometimes I just sit there and I might only put 50 stitches in it on that particular night and whatnot, but I am trying to do 30 minutes a day on this. I haven't done any of the challenge groups in the last 2 weeks because, as I said, I've been fairly distracted trying to get things sorted and whatnot, and just get back into the swing of things this month. I mean, it doesn't matter if I miss a couple of weeks, it's fine. We also have our challenges starting up in February as well, on the 4th of February, so keep an eye out in the events tab for some little challenges, and that in the group that I put together. It keeps me on track as well, and a few other people like doing them. They're nothing too strenuous, it's just hours, and if you're a stitch counter you can do stitch counting as well. But yeah, I'm just looking here. Yeah, I probably got about 400 to 500 stitches in, because there were some of these other ones that I had to do up here, and yeah, and all this down here. So yeah, not a great deal this week, but still it's something. I'm a little bit concerned about the easy grid, because I have seen where people said that the easy grid doesn't wash away that easy. So, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned because I can see the grid underneath. Well, you can too on the camera. You can see the grid. I'm hoping that it washes away, because I am not a gridder, and I like the fact that I can just count in 10 with the easy grid and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think I would like to grid this up, because look how tiny those little squares are. But I'm loving the coverage of it. Like, it's looking really good. I've got a couple of little random stitches that I've got to do, and I'm pretty sure they're all the same color, these ones, so I'll probably try and finish them off before I finish the top row off. So I've got another little color that's got to go in here. So over the next couple of weeks you'll start to see some of these little white spots fill in a little bit more for you, and whatnot. And this is the start of the tree. And once you can see here, this here is a wing, the tip of the dragon's wing, and so is this. So let me just bring the picture in and I can show you. So these two tips here are these two tips here. So I'm getting close to having a little bit of different colors in here. I'm doing a lot of block color, but I just want to get this top row done, because in my opinion that is the least favorite amount of that color that I ever want to do in my life. So I just want to get all this block coloring done, and that's going to get me a fair way. And yeah, so hopefully I can sort of get that all finished. I'm hoping by the end of February to have at least only this section here to go. So yeah, I'm not going to hold myself to that because that is quite a little ambitious goal there, but I can give it a red hot go. As I said, this is sitting on the couch and you know, it's getting some love as much as I can put into it and whatnot. The next one that I worked on is the stitch along that I'm doing with my Stitch Sisters. This is called Yuletide Garden Labyrinth. It's by Carolyn Manning Design. Sorry about the blurriness there. I moved my hand too quick and the camera had a bit of a conniption. So yeah, this is such an easy stitch. Like, it's so repetitive, but it's relaxing, if that makes it, like, it's not boring either because you've got these like tiny little micro finishes as you're going. So each of these top squares here have approximately 250 stitches in it. And then we've got these little boxes that we do, which go together pretty quickly. So I ended up getting 306 stitches, I think, into this this week. And so let me just move that out of the way. This is being stitched on 20 count. And this is blue lavender, I believe it is. I don't have my bag here. It's way over there. I believe it, yes, the colorway is blue lavender. It looks really blue on the camera, but it actually has a purple hue to it, a bluish purple hue. And so I did this section here on the weekend. Was it, yeah, on the weekend I did that, and as I said, I got 306 stitches into this. So this is my Friday night stitch. And I've still got the half leg done of the white here. So I'll continue doing that as we go and get that finished. But yeah, so and now we've got some of these squares that'll go down here. This is just, I'm working page one at the moment. This is the bottom of page one. This is the side of page one. So I'm just going to fill in, and that's the halfway point too. So there's only, I think there's 6 pages all up. And yeah, so this is page one. And then I'll move on to page 2 and finish that off. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure, let me just have a look here where this goes down to. So this goes all the way down, but I've come 12 down. So let me just count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that is where I've got to on the little sheet. So let me just bring this in again. Okay, so I have come down to here. So this is the bottom of page 1. Okay. And then we've got 5 across, 2, 3, 5, and that's the center point there. So you can see that that is page 1 there. Okay, so that section, page 1, yeah. So it's probably it's 4 full pages and then probably a couple of half pages because I haven't printed it off. It's just in Pattern Keeper. So yeah, so that is this is the halfway point and this is the bottom of the page, and I'm loving the fact that I've done this on 20 count because it's not going to be an absolutely huge piece. And to be honest, I think going forward I am going to be stitching on 20 and 22 count. I just like the fact, I don't know, I just like the cross stitches when they look a little bit smaller. I mean, I do like stitching on 28 count, but I just find the pieces to be overly big. And I like the stitches to look smaller. They give you better coverage and all that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. Now, this is a new start for this year. So this is, I think this is the second time I've stitched on 20 count. I do have a piece that I'm going to look at on the 1st of January 2023, and it was the Hello Halloween one, which is the sampler from Teresa Koga, and I think that I am going to actually restart that because I've only done a corner of the border, restart that and do it on 20 count because I just think I've got it on 28 count and it's going to be absolutely massive. And I'm scaling down wall pieces to the size that I can fit because I'm scaling down my house. I'm not going to have the wall space. You know, but that, like, I'm going to have areas where, like, in my studio, that I'll be able to put things up and stuff like that, but still I'm going to be fairly limited. Excuse me. So I think that doing them on the on the higher counts of linen and higher count of the Ada is going to make it a lot more easier to have smaller frames and all that sort of stuff. And this one here, I'm possibly going to turn this into maybe a rectangle cushion, because like it could be a decent sized cushion. Like, it's not going to be too bad at all. Yeah, so that's what I'm sort of thinking of doing with this one. I'm not too sure yet, because I love cushions. I mean, this one would probably go on my bed because I wouldn't want anybody touching it, but I could also have this, you know, framed up and in my bathroom or somewhere like that, and whatnot. But I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really enjoying doing this. And this is my normally this is my Friday piece, but I didn't stitch on this until Sunday, because in the moment I'm going to show you why, because we had a new start this week. So this week was the beginning of the Vistas a flag sale. Like, we basically, Gail from Wombat Hollow Crafts and myself, in conjunction with Vivian from the Vistas, basically Gail and I decided that we were going to do this as a sale. Originally it was just going to be a couple of us, and then we put it out to the masses, and it has just grown legs and run. We've got, I think there's like 58 flags at this point. There's a few more that are in the design element, design stage and whatnot, so I'm assuming they'll get released soon. We basically had a kickoff Zoom meeting as well, so we had a few people turn up. A lot of people filled out the form and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, being a long weekend, they might not have been able to attend, but we had quite a number of people turn up, which was absolutely fantastic. We ran 2 meetings. One was in the AM, one was in the PM. But we did the kickoff one on during the day on the 26th of January, which is Australia Day. And basically we kicked off for that, and because we're on a public holiday, so we thought, what better way to start the sale than on a public holiday and whatnot. So we had a few people from around the world that joined us. The designer, Vivian, also joined us as well, which was absolutely fantastic. We had Carolyn, some people that you may know, Carolyn from the Flosstube Stitcher also joined us as well. There was obviously Gail and myself, and yeah, and basically it was a lot of fun. We got to meet some people that are stitching it, and we had a great time. I ended up spending, of course I double booked myself, so I ended up spending 3 hours in the Zoom meeting. Gail ended up being there for 4 hours. And then on Sunday night, we also had another meeting as well, and that was for our UK friends. And Vivian turned up again for that, so it was during the day for them and at night for us. And yeah, we had some people from Latvia and oh, where else do we? Some local people here in Australia as well, and we had some people from the UK show up, and there was just yeah, people from all over the place and whatnot. And yeah, it was a fun time. We had, you know, conversation, then we had some quiet moments as well when we were just stitching away and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a lot of fun so far. My Instagram looks like the United Nations. If you're looking to start this flag or maybe another flag from around the world, it is not too late to join. This is open-ended, so even if you're a slow stitcher, that is okay. We have an official hashtag, which is 2024 Quaker Flag Sale. You can find all that information over on my Instagram. So it took me a while to decide which one I was going to do. So let me just bring it in my bag and grab the other one. This is a project bag made by me. So if you're looking for project bags or anything like that, they'll start getting listed up this month. They will be linked up down below. You can go and check that out. Let me just, this is the one that I ended up going with, but you can see here, this is the other one, that the other design with the stars. Now, it took me until Friday to decide what I was going to do. And then I was going to stitch it on 32 count, and I decided to go with 36 count. So I'm stitching this one here with the tiles. I like both, and I may end up stitching this one a little bit later, and I probably might do this on Ada and do it on like 28 count or something, one strand over one or something along those lines, or maybe just do it 10 stitch. I don't know. I'll see how I go and just do a really small flag. This one's already going to be a little bit smaller than the other ones, but anyway. So I decided to go with this one instead. So this turned out to be my favorite one. All right, so let's move that off and have a look and see what I got done. Now, I got close to 800 stitches, I think I got into this. Again, this is loaded up into a pattern keeper. I'm doing this on 36 count, just white, so it stands out a little bit. And I have started doing some of the grey colour. The next colour that will come in will be some of the red. I am using Silks for You. Let me just grab that for you and so you can see what the colours are. I'm using Silks for You for this one and a DMC. Now, I couldn't find a Silks for You in the grey colour, so I just went with the DMC. Let me just show you that. That's what that's going to look like. The red I'm using from Silks for You is PRO23. So if you want to do it in silks, you'll have these colors. And then there is a grid that goes around around the like between each of the tiles, and it is excuse me, it is PRO65. Okay, and then for the color that I'm using, this color here is let me just bring this up, and I've split all I got a hank of this. So I got I got 3 of the dark blue and I got 4 of the red. I really like this red, so I grabbed a couple of extra anyway, because I don't think I'm going to need the 4 because I'm only using 1 strand, and I am using, that's the blue, and that is PRO12 that I'm using. It is absolutely stunning. I think the colors are going to look amazing once it's all done. You can see a little bit of variegation there on the ones that I've already done. Now I'm stitching with 1 strand over 2, and I am doing a full cross, and I'm doing 1 cross at a time because I'm working with the silks. And I'm going, and so basically I'm just going backwards and forwards at the moment, so you can see that nice variegation, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do through the whole flag, is just go backwards and forwards on it, but doing 1 cross at a time. So I'll do 1 row and then come back and then do the next row and then come back. Obviously I can do it a little bit different with the grey because that's DMC, and there's not much variegation in the red, so I'm probably going to use this red and this dark blue as I would a DMC, but I won't know until I start stitching this. And when I stitch with DMC, I do the first part of the cross and then I come back and do the next part of the cross, and that gives you the nice flat surface on the back. This is also giving me a flat surface on the back because I try to do every cross exactly the same way. You know, like coming up in the same hole and going down and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but you know, we get a nice looking back. And as you can see, I'm also using the waist knot method and the waist tail method as well. So basically what will happen is I've just run that up by about 5 or 6 stitches, and then that eventually will get covered. If it doesn't, I can always pull that through, and I've got tiny little hooks that I can get under the threads, but for the most part it gets covered. So I try to make sure that I go up far enough for it to get yeah, and the threads that you can see on the back is actually the thread that I'm using still at the moment. I'd only just changed the thread. So I'm going to continue doing a little bit more blue to finish that thread off, and then I'll bring in the red, which is there. And I've got to come down to about here for this grey. Now you can't really see the grey right now, but as more colors come into, once the red comes in it and it's bordered by each of those colors, you will be able to see it. But that is what I'm doing, and it's 36 count linen that I'm working on, and I think I said that I'm doing 1 strand over 2. I was going to do 1 over 1, but I just decided to go over 2 because I wanted the flag just that little bit bigger. And as I said, if I do another one, I probably will do the star. Well, I will do the star one, and I will probably do that either on this or on a 22 count, and I'll do the 1 strand. So again, and using the same colors, but yeah. just because I'm going to have plenty of this hank left over, because now I'm only using one strand. When I purchased it, I was going to be doing it on 32 count, 2 strands over 2, but I changed my mind at the last minute because my 36 count came in, and I'm like, yay, I can stitch it in the 36 count. So again, I'm making these decisions because I know I'm scaling down in the next couple of years, and scaling down in size. I mean, I've got a couple more years here, but there's no point in basically, there's no real point in having all these massive pieces that I can't hang, that they're just going to sit in a cupboard somewhere, because I can't finish them or I can't hang them or whatever the case may be. Some of the pieces I'm going to probably turn into quilts and stuff because they'll get used. The kids will take them and use them as well. So I'm going to turn them into some of the bigger pieces. So the hawk runs, apart from Halloween, I think I will end up still doing them as a quilt. But it will be a quilt that'll get draped over a bed or whatever the case may be. And that's still a long way off. Like I'm now 4 years behind in that because I'm in 2024. I started the Hawk Run series in 2020, and I was supposed to do a block a month, or a chart a year, and I haven't done that. So I haven't even finished one of the charts. So I mean, overall, I've probably got 3 blocks out of one chart done over 3 charts. So yeah. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, I'm really, really liking it now. So I'm really happy that I've made the decision to go with this. And the little blocks are just adorable. Like I love Quaker. If you've been around for a while, I love Quaker. There we go. We can have a little bit of a closer look. It's the camera. And you can see the coverage there is quite nice. And you can see that variegation pretty good as well. All right. So let that just refocus again. There we go. All right. Camera has a little bit of a conniption. It has an automatic focus on it. So in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have got that. But anyway, the next one is my almost finished. Like I have finished all the cross stitches. Now I just have to do the back stitch, which I'm in the process of doing. Let me just get the little picture out of what it's going to look like. Okay, so this is the little guy that I've been working on. So I cannot tell you what magazine this was from because I cannot find the magazine. I think I may have lent it to a friend or given it away, possibly. Who knows? But anyway, I only started stitching in 2019. So I'm thinking it is from the end of 2019 or maybe 2020. And I think it was World of Cross Stitching that it was in. I will have a look on my Readly app and see if I can't find it. And then I'll be able to tell you when I'm finished doing the back stitch. I'll be able to tell you because, of course, you're going to see this again once it's completely done. All right, so this is my Steampunk, and there's a series of 4 of them. There's like a little owl, I think. There's a hawk, a cat, and this one. So yeah, so that's what it's going to look like when it's finished with all the back stitch. I have started doing the back stitch. Oh, he's looking pretty cute. So it's going to stay in this hoop. It's just going to get hung up on the thing on the door. So yeah, you can see I've started doing the back stitch. I did actually have some back stitch in this already, and so the reason that I haven't finished it is because I started doing the back stitch. And the stuff that I had done earlier, I didn't like the look of, so I pulled it all out. So that's what I sort of focused on. So I got this all done last week. And then I started doing the back stitch, like I went around the brim and I'm like, don't like it, so I pulled it out. The eyes look so much better now, although he looks a little bit creepy right now, but without his spectacles. So we still have to go around the ears. And I've got to do the spectacles, and then I've got to go around these all the things up here and whatnot. So I've probably got about an hour, maybe 2 hours of back stitch to do. It's not going to take me too long to do it. I mean, this didn't really take long. What took a long time is getting the back stitch out that I had done. So excuse me. So I've got to sort that all out. I had to sort all that out before I could start doing it again. And of course I had already done some as well, so I took that out. But I really like him. He's looking really good. Like the back stitch is actually going to give him some dimension and all that sort of stuff. So I'm so close. I'm calling it a finish, but I know it's not fully finished yet. So, yeah, and it's going to stay in the hoop. So once I'm finished, I'll give it a bit of a bath and whatnot, because this has been around since 2020. Yeah, so this is probably one of the second or third pieces that I might have started. So it's still where I'm still like a baby stitcher. And you can, and like I use CXC for this as well. It's on 14 count. And I would probably like to do the other ones as well. There's a couple, or maybe the Pussycat one. I wouldn't mind doing that one as well. But as I said, I don't know where the magazine is, so I have to find it on the Readly app before I can start that and just have a series of them. I think they're absolutely adorable. Obviously, I will do them a little bit quicker this time and whatnot, because the main goal is to get my whips down this year. All right, so that is where I'm at with that one. And basically, I will get that backstitch finished, so you'll see this again next week. All right, so what plans do I have coming up during the week? I am pretty excited that I've got that one finished. So I'm still going to be working on Red Dragon. I'm going to be working on my flag, and I'm going to be working on my Carolyn Manning one. And I went diving into the whips that I pulled out, which you would have seen the whip parade of what I'm doing. And I decided that I'm going to get some stitches into pieces that are ready, almost aren't going to take too long to get done. I need to have some little micro finishes for the big ones that I'm working on. So this is the piece that I'm going to be working on. This I am doing as one piece, so you will see this from time to time throughout the year. I'm doing this, as I said, as one piece. I believe there are 12 Santas now, so I've got to rethink how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do 4 across, which I'll have plenty to do, and I can do 3 down because I've got plenty of fabric here. So this is the one that I'm working on. This is a Santa collection by My Fanny. You can find her on Etsy. It is myfanny.etsy.com is how you will find her. She is also on Instagram, Facebook, and she also has a blog as well, which is myfannydesign.blog.it. So she is an Italian designer, and I just love her beautiful Santa collection. I am doing this on 32 count. I'm using the called for colors on this one. I am using, believe I am using DMC for this one. Just looking at that, I think I am. Oh no, I might be using CXC. I don't know. I will have to have a look what I've written down in my journal. So I don't have my journal in front of me. All right, so you can see there I've got the little owl done. We've got another white owl and the Santa to go, but I've done the border to a certain point. And yeah, so you can see that I'll be able to fit 4 on this. Like, this is a decent sized piece of fabric. I think it's 19 inches across and it's 21 inches down. This is actually 27 inches down. So I'm going to have plenty of room to do all the Santas. So my plan is to try and get one finish, or very close to a finish, every 5 weeks throughout the year. If I can bring it down to 4 weeks, I will. They don't take long to stitch. It's just me finding the time. And just looking at that, I am definitely using DMC. That I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, the white is DMC. It must be CXC I'm using, because that coverage is pretty good. So yeah, I'll have to have a look, and I know that I've written it in my diary. I just don't have my diary here in front of me. It's way over there, and I'm not going to jump up and get it. But anyway, I am using the called for colors, because with the CXC, they do have matching colors. So yeah, so I'm pretty and I love the coverage on it as well. So it feels really good. It feels nice and tight and whatnot. But they're so cute. So cute. I am using DMC for the, like, I'm just looking at those crosses. They look absolutely amazing. Even if I say so myself, I normally hate my white stitching, but that is actually, look at, oh, that's actually Cosmo white that I'm using, which is the same as DMC 2500. So yeah, I actually like how those threads are sitting. Really, really nice. I'm using 2 strands. I can see that I'm using 2 strands. So yeah, it's been a while since I looked at it. Sorry, I'm just gazing upon my stitching. You can't really make out the border on the camera, but you can, when you, like, if I bring it up closer, you can see it a lot better on that. And you can see what I'm saying about, like, I hate stitching with white like most people, but those white stitches look really good. I'm pretty impressed with those. Like, even if I say so myself, like when I look at Snow Village, there's some that are just so terrible. And yeah, that looks really good. I'm pretty happy with that. What do you reckon? They're pretty good. You have to admit they're pretty good. All right, let's put that away. We've gazed upon that enough. All right, so that is the plan for this week, to stitch a little bit on this. I'm hoping that I'll probably plan out where, you know, like I'll try and do the owl, or I'll do Santa or something along those lines. So we'll see how we go. I'm pretty much just spending about 2 hours a night on it. Another one that's really close to a finish, and it's almost like, why is this not finished, Nicole? Um, is this is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Aaron Houston is the designer. If you've watched Autumn Lane Stitchery, you already know who these people are. So I am almost finished this one. So I'm going to endeavor to try and get this really close to a finish. I do have some back stitching to do. And I think I've got the spider still to do. But I think there's not too much more left to do. This is being done on a piece of 28 count that I dyed myself. So this is what I've got done. So I've still got to do poison. I'm using CXC colors, and I've just got to do the back stitch, basically, the back stitch border. So that shouldn't take me too long. I should be able to get that nearly finished in 1 or 2 nights. So if I can get all the cross stitching done this week and start on some of the back stitching around the bottles and all the rest of it, I'll be pretty happy with that. And then I'll just keep it in the rotation until it's done. This is just going to get put into a little frame that I can sit on my buffet, excuse me, at Halloween time. So it may end up staying up all year round, because I am known to have Halloween stuff up all year round. And I got a little needle minder there that says drink up witches. So yeah, I think that this is very doable. So you can see there that all I've got is the poison, and then the back stitch around all the bottles and whatnot. So yeah, and some of the stuff on there. So I've already started doing, I did the triple X in back stitch. I've got a pentagram that's got to go onto that one, and then it's just outlining. And I'm already going to be back stitching, so I will probably work on this one tonight and try and get this done. And then when I'm back stitching the dog, I'll do this at the same time, because I'll already be in that mindset. So yeah, there was a couple that I said last time that I was going to be stitching on. I just didn't get to them. So they are still in my bag, and I will definitely try to get to them over the next week as well. Now, I don't know if I'm going to end up, you know, I did say earlier on in the year that I may do weekly ones, but I also may end up dropping them down to fortnightly and all the rest of it. So yeah. All right, the next one that I'm going to work on is, yeah, I know, this is another one where this should be finished. I don't know why it's not finished. I'm just, yeah. This one is Cinnamon Stars. I do not have a lot to go on this one. This should be finished this month, most definitely. I've got to order some floss. Yes, that's right. I still haven't done it. I'm terrible for it. I'm actually going to do it today. And all I really have to do now is there's some stars that I have to do out of the chimney, and some filling in of the chimney. And then there's one line of stitching I've got to do down the side of the house. It's about 20 stitches, but I have to get a skein of floss for it, because I actually don't have that color here. I've used it all, so a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll use it in something else. So Cinnamon Stars is going to get some love, and basically I'll just show you what I've got. So this is it. It's on 28 count. It's a lot smaller than what I thought it was. It's on 28 count. This is another one that will get framed up. This one will probably go on a door or something like that. In the studio, I want to have a wall where I have just like all this sort of primitive stuff. I like this style of stuff. So yeah. So you can see here, I've already started doing the stars. So I have done around to this star just here. So I've got to fill in the sections of it, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stars to do. 2 little ones here, another one there. And then that's it. That's all I've really got to do. But as I said, I've got this window and I've got the chimney to fill in, which is not going to take me long. And then basically I've got this one line of stitching just there that I have to get this color for. But that's okay. I don't even know what color that is. I will work out what color that is and I will get that sorted. But that is going to be another one. So we're doing really well at getting some of these smaller ones out of the, like, ones that are almost finished done and out of the way. I'm looking forward to just moving these on. I mean, I don't even care if I don't FFO them this year. I just put them in the box, but at least then they're done. I am going to go through some of my whips that I have, and some of the smaller ones I'm going to basically frog them out, and as I said, I'm going to do them on the higher count fabrics and whatnot. But this one, this particular one here, as I said, this is done on I bought this fabric like this. This is a DMC coffee dyed one, and it's a Monaco, I think it's called, and it's an even weave. So I'm pretty happy with the coloring of it, and I think I got it from 123 Stitch from memory. So I think that's where I got it from. So I'm probably going to get some more of this because I do have a couple of more houses from Plum Street Samplers, so I'm definitely going to see if I can't get some more of this. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's slightly different, it just stitches them up a little bit different, but I'm not going to start them this year. This year is the focus on getting my whips down. I will do a full count of so I brought 30 in with me this year, and I'm only going to focus on that 30. I actually have another 20 odd in my drawers, but as I finish stuff, I will bring stuff out. So I'm just going to say that I've got 30 whips and I'm going to focus on 30 whips this year, and once I start finishing things, I will have a tally underneath each video of where I'm at and all that sort of stuff, so you can keep an eye on that as well. But that is all the things that I'm going to be stitching on this week for the first week of February. I do have a lot of reading and stuff like that to do. I'm starting to replace all of my bags that I started cross stitching with with ones that I have. Oh, that's the wrong bag. That would have been a bit of a catastrophe. So yeah, I'm starting to replace all of my bags slowly but surely with bags that I've made. And that, so yeah. All right. Let me put these away. So yeah, as I said, that's what I'm going to work on. And of course, I do have a couple that I've got in the bag still that I want to work on as well. If I can get some time, I will get into those. But sometimes I get a little bit carried away. Like I'll start stitching on something and I'll just get right into it and I just keep stitching on it. And then I forget about all of my other ones. And yeah, so that's not always conducive to getting a lot of stitching done in things. So, but I will have better information about let me see if I wrote it on the back of this. I don't think I did, no. Because I started, oh, and the color of that Santa fabric is called Grey Skies as well. I didn't write it on it, but it is an even weave and it's 32 count and it's called Grey Skies. All right, but that is it for me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I hope that you get lots of stitches in. I'm about to go off and do some bag making and whatnot and get some custom orders out and all that sort of stuff. But I do hope you have a wonderful crafty day and you get lots of stitches in. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.